to life for the music. Love, so much love. Let me show you how it used to be. Was total love and unity for the music. Love, so much love. Must remember a shorty eye and the love circle by his side. Remember, remember. The year was 1990.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning we are chatting with Mr. Toney Burton, who is a soca artist, and he's in the studio with us, and we're talking about his new release, Remember.
Yes.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on
Good
Tobago
morning.
Updates.
Thank you for having me here. It's great.
Right. So tell us a bit about yourself.
About myself, born and grew up in Tobago all my life. Sing with Signal Hill Choir. Then I was the main singer for Jackie Johnson XL for a few years. Then I converted to Atlantic in Trinidad. And then I moved to the US in 2003, 2005. Created a band out there. And actually I was here last Carnival. And it's been a while. And the idea, the inspiration to really write this was just being in the events and being, the Soca Titans, the Calypso competition, just being in the energy.
All right.
Yeah.
So you would be a part of the Tobago Soca Monarch for October?
Well, they had the audition, not the audition, but the prelims last night. Right. I made myself present for it, so I did the performance last night. I don't know how it's gonna go.
Right.
Because I think my song itself, what the song is saying, when I wrote it, I wanted to be energy driven. I wanted it to be melodious. I wanted it for people to sing, but I wanted it to be a tribute in the sense of saying, we got to know where we come from to know where we're going. So all the music that we're doing right now, it was created in the sense of saying, there were artists that really started the game before us. Sparrow Rose, Lord Kitchener, stuff like that. And even the events that was happening before that was really very, very important to our art form. Brass Festival, Wassa, Soca, Fire Fed, all this stuff. Just how it used to be. So the name of the song is Remember.
Right. And, even as you were outside and watching the elevation of the industry here in Tobago, what are some of your thoughts, and where do you think a lot of the energy needs to be to help to elevate the standard and the quality of production that is coming out of Tobago?
Good question. The thing for me is, I remember being where most of the Soca Titans new artists are right now. And I remember, looking at the ones before, getting on top of my game and stuff like that. But as far as I want Tobago, this is like the third carnival, really. And I think we need to be so careful, just in the sense of saying we need to make it get to such a level. Remember, I'm used to Trinidad, I'm used to America. I know what it needs to be like, delivery or even production. And sometimes when we judge, we got to be so careful too, because sometimes we're in a moment or we're in a zone and we really say, we're looking for this, but we sometimes got to think about the bigger picture, because at the end of the day, when we're putting together a production or for that night, we need to make sure it's so impacted and so carefully directed that people from anywhere must say, you know what? I go into Tobago for the next carnival. You want it to get to that level.
And what I recognize is that with a lot of the carnivals throughout the region, when you go to them, you might hear a song for the first time, but that song becomes a staple in your mind that represents that carnival.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because they played it 100 times in one event, but because it kind of represented the experience.
Very good point.
So how have you tried to create a product that represents the Tobago Carnival experience?
Well, first of all, I think you had to create something that people would remember. like when they hear it. You have to create something that is going to be driven, that the youths could really lock onto. You have to also tell a story. And if you really want to portray or you want to really sell something, again, as I said, you have to know where you come from. People need to get that island Caribbean feel. Right now, personally, I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm actually shooting the video. I'm finishing the video today. Started in Trinidad. So it's with costume, mask, pan. What I'm saying, exactly what I'm saying in the song. And then finally now, Tobago. At the end of the day, it's Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago has so much beautiful shot sceneries. So, I personally, I think I'm going to be on a boat today out there taking some drone shots. And all of that is so important. And sometimes, as I said, when you hear something for the first time as a judge, when you have 50 seconds to hear it, you can't grasp the big picture of where it should be. So then you have found yourself in a situation being like, well, I really think that song is good enough for the production or this, and you start scrambling. And, and you gotta sometimes look at the bigger picture.
Right.
Yeah.
And, for a very long time, a lot of local artists have complained about radio play and the level of exposure that they have been getting compared to some of the, more senior artists who have been in the game for a long time. But now we have social media that has allowed artists to break the barriers of traditional media.
Perfectly right.
And that level of control that they've had over the music industry. So how are you incorporating that social media to quote unquote help your music to go viral, outside of just the traditional radio channels?
Well, you're right. Here's the thing. Back then we were all locked into radio station. Right, I come from that. I've been in a situation where I'm in the biggest band, and rotation could be a little problem because you might have 2 or 3 other senior singers in the band that is more exposed to you, or have been more connected, or been around for a while. Now social media has made it a little better because you are in control of. You sit here and you could really get one-on-one with the fans. Visually doing something doesn't have to be totally extremely perfect. Here's the next thing. If you could really find a band and get a live recording done, you know what I'm saying? That shows you. Actually, again, Friday I was in a band room doing a live presentation of the song, and it's like you sit back, you'll be like, wow, is that the same song? It's like live energy, And as I said, putting it together, the team, myself, David, Tyrone, and Cliff Manswell, Infinity Production out of California, very talented producer. We get together, we like structured this thing so great. We did it so live as possible, live production, live guitar.
And even as you talk about, the live production and getting persons involved, you have a number of tourists coming up on the airport, on the ports. On a daily basis, even like just having like a pop-up performance on these areas that you can film, put it on social media, stuff like that. Builds a lot of traction and also attracts persons to Tobago for the carnival. So these are all creative ideas that can be incorporated into driving the music and, having that real in-person interaction with yourself as an artist and with the music. But what do you hope to gain from, participating in Carnival 2024, Tobago Carnival?
For me, it's more, again, like reinventing. Haven't been in it for a while, and reinventing myself into it. I mean, a lot of people know who I am. A lot of people is like, yo, this is what you got to do. We want you here, this, like that. But for me, gaining it, it's more about being active again in the art form. Because as I said, even a lot of the artists and them who performed last night, they like, oh my God, Burton stuff, you're here, this, that, the other. A lot of people know me. They understand that, but just being here is, being a part of it. I would love it to really just raise the standard up. That's what it is. I was really chatting with Ronnie McIntosh actually 2 nights ago, and he was like, Tobago is on the rise musically. It's the carnival itself. It's on the rise, whether it's calypso, whether it's the mass, and he's like, it's an exciting thing. But we have to bring it up, and that's what I'm hoping. Just myself being involved. You have other artists and I'm from Tobago that has contributed, showing all of these guys. This is where we're from. Mm-hmm. So at some point in time, you want to give back. You want to sit down and chat with musicians, singers, and be like, yo, this is what we got to do. We can't really just let it flow. Mm-hmm. Now is the time we got to really, and that's what I'm hoping to get.
So tell us a bit more about the inspiration behind this particular song.
The inspiration is, I could connect with it because it was really the people that have done something to me. Perfect example. I was to come to Trinidad and connect with most of the artists I'm singing in the song. And Roy passed away like a few days just before I got there. And these people mean a lot to me. We're talking about Mass, we're talking about Pan, we're talking about Bugsy, we're talking about Peter Minchell. This is what inspired me to write the song, in the sense of saying, must remember Rash Shorty Eye and the love circle by his side. Who remember? Mm-hmm. Must remember. The year was 1995. Super and Ronnie clashed that night, remember? Big Soca Monarch clash. Upper Level was the place to go for you and your girls to wind down low. And you say, Brass Festival was such a hype. Rags and Flags wave all night. Was total love and unity in the air. Let me take you back, darling. That's where it is. Let me take you back to that time, darling.
Right. And even with that, do you think that you are targeting a particular demographic when you talk about remembering things that a lot of
I might be
young persons
here's
ahead of their time.
Here's what. It's not really so much so far ahead of our time. When did Stalin died? It's not like 30 years ago, right? When did Shadow die? Not like 30 years ago. You know what I mean? When did Roy die? Last week or whatever. It's not so far. If it's because people within the age of 25 to 30 should still remember these individuals. Right. So it's not so far. Right. And then when you really make it as live as possible, production wise, you're not really staying in a demographic, you're really making it spread. Right. And when you create it where even the younger ones could sing. Take me back, take me back.
Right.
So it's so I don't think it's locked. When I'm in the studio, I'm not in the studio by myself. Yeah. I'm in the studio with ace producer Cliff Manswell. I'm in the studio with producer David Reed, Tyron Gray, musicians, producers,
Excellent.
Yeah, so we have to really think
wide.
Spread.
Yeah,
wide.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Toney Burton, and he is a soca artist, and he's originally from right here in Tobago, and we are talking about his new release, Remember, and you guys have the opportunity to check that out. But we want to thank you so much for sticking with us this morning. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and thank you for all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, have a great day and see you again very soon.
Every time to show you how we used to live for the music, love, so much love. Let me show you how it used to be. Was total love and unity for the music, love, so much love. Must remember a shorty eye and the love circle by his side. Remember, the year was 1995. Super and Ronnie clashed that night, remember? Must remember, upper level was the place to go for you and your girls to wind down low. Right now, right now, right now. Cross Festival was such a hype. Rocks and flags wave all night. Was total love and unity in the air. Let me take you back, darling. Let me take you back to that time, darling. When we used to lie, darling. Take you back to that time, darling. Say, let me take you back, way back, remember?
Start to jump around. Problems.
Let me take you back, way back, remember?
Start to jump around.
Take you back, my lover. Working Juventus, Charlie's room.